Losing a life partner is one of the most mind-numbing, life-altering events anyone can experience. It is the one person whom you organized your entire life around. You can feel as if you've been set adrift, lost or dismembered. It can even feel like we've lost our own life.
I just find myself wondering, is there a future for me? And I struggle against allowing myself to have hopeless kind of thoughts. But I do have times when I wonder what is ahead. And
we were looking into a new era of our lives. And the day he died, the moment he died, all of that was gone.
A big difficulty that we have worked at getting over is that Murray was such a wonderful listener. I try to be, but I tend to talk and give opinions faster than Murray would. And Matt's had to get used to that. And I think that's really the biggest hole in his life, that he doesn't have somebody like that.
So I have never experienced loneliness until I lost my husband.
And to be working hand in hand to reach life goals according to shared values, so that when you lose your partner, when you lose someone who has been an integral and indispensable part of your life, it's natural to feel as if you've lost your anchor.
It's just, there's really no words to describe it. When people ask me, how does it feel? I say, I don't know how it feels. It's just an empty. It's a big empty void. Your best friend, your lover, your boyfriend, your partner is gone.
It really doesn't matter how rich or poor, endearing or conflicted the marital relationship was. The loss of your spouse throws your life into chaos. If you have children, especially dependent children, you'll feel the weight of responsibility immediately. I remember writing in my journal just days after the funeral saying, God help me, I have 4 little hands that want to be held, and I only have 2. In one moment, 2 strong horses were pulling in rhythm. In another moment, there was only one. The law of physics is immediately felt. The full weight of responsibility to raise these children alone was overwhelming.
I feel like I'm too young to be alone the rest of my life, and at the same time, I cannot ever imagine being anything else but alone.
Even if you're experiencing a turbulent stage of marriage, you begin to discover how much your partner was a part of your life.
The measure of the agony of loss is often directly related to the degree of closeness in the family. You can expect the loss of a deep attachment will generate a large response. The first task is to rebalance your day-to-day external world. Rebalancing your life after a partner dies may take as long as a year or more. Just getting a handle on finances, children, chores, meals, pets, and repairs, just to name a few, takes time. When you've found the balance in your life again, you'll start to focus on your new identity. Being a single person again will be unfamiliar, especially when you still feel married.
It's like the end of a dream, really, that you have to let go of, and you have to try to make a new dream, but that's hard to do.
I know when I go to bed and close my eyes, those memories could come. So there's lots of times I don't go to bed till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
In the parenting and the bringing up of our children, John did as much of that as I did, rather than a traditional role where maybe it's the mother who deals with the children all the time. It was probably him that dealt with the children, and I have to pick up that. Not that I have to, but I'm not sure that I'm so good at it.
As your new identity emerges, there's a wave action that's taking place. The new tide is rising higher, but the undercurrent surges in retreat. Your life will begin to take new direction. There will be new activities, hobbies, and involvements, many of which you would have never considered during your marriage. You will courageously move forward, letting your partner gradually retreat to a new place in your life, one of honored memory. Moving on without your partner may cause you to feel guilty. That's a normal feeling. Instead, think of their memory as an important and valued compass coordinate for your journey.
Some find it helpful to intentionally imagine their loved one's likeness and voice to offer encouragement. What would they say to me right now? As you need it, this kind of support can help you forge into the future.
I talked to him this morning before I left. I talked to Bob because I know exactly what he would say. We used to finish each other's sentences. And
I have my husband's pictures, and I put them on the fridge, and I talk to them. I talk to him, and in the morning when I get up, I give him a kiss on the picture, or at night when I go to bed.
Living with loss is about facing what's no longer there. Some of those gaps need to be filled in very practical ways. There'll be certain times in your week that will be harder than others. If Saturday evening is particularly difficult, make sure you schedule an activity to get you through that period of time in a way that will not add to your emotional pain.
You may or may not have religious bearings. However, most of the couples we interviewed believed in life after death. The belief that this journey we travel is just one leg of a much larger expedition definitely stabilized them with a quiet but firm joy.
It does make me think about what the future holds now that I'm alone. I guess everybody's circumstances are different. We were together 47 years, and then all of a sudden, you're alone. And sometimes you say to yourself, I'm single. I'm actually single.
You see sometimes a tendency to isolate yourself. It's important that we not move into isolation, because then we don't find the strength that we need from a community of faith.
Although you may feel alone, know you are not alone. Let your memories steady you, and as you rebalance your life, courageously let the tide carry you towards your new identity and your new future.
Death can slam you fast and hard without warning, or it can secretly steal a life away, cell by cell, breath by breath, over months or years. But no matter how much our culture allures us down the path of youth, vitality, health, and fitness, death will not be denied. It will visit your family. It will visit mine. Hello, my name is Moira Brown. I will be your companion through this DVD. We'll hear stories of loss, courage, and hope from people just like you and me. In just a moment, we'll be introduced to Dr. Kim Christing and others who have confronted death and loss. Kim will be your travel guide on our exploration of this journey called grief. We believe that the stories you'll hear and the issues that will be addressed will be comforting, informative, and will help bring healing to you and your family. If you are experiencing grief, we believe there are 3 essential navigational tools for safe passage through this process: a safe place, safe people, and a clear map for the journey ahead. We've gathered people who personally know what this journey is like, seasoned professionals and individuals and families traveling this road right now. Together we'll explore the road that lies ahead. This is Kim's story. 36-year-old Kim Christing had all that was important to him: a devoted wife, 4 beautiful children, and a successful career as a minister of a large suburban church. Kim had little personal experience with death until he watched his 39-year-old sister Wendy succumb to a long and painful demise as the result of complications from diabetes. 2 years later, almost to the date, Kim learned that Wendy's husband, David, had died of what might be considered a broken heart. Still stumbling through shock, again Kim conducted the funeral service. The very next day, following David's funeral, Kim and his wife Gwen decided to connect with their best friends who were visiting from out of town. They were joined by Gwen's brother Stephen. They decided to take the 6 children swimming. After swimming, the other couple, Kim's wife Gwen and their 10-month-old baby, decided to go on ahead and pick up some dinner on the way home. Kim and Steve took Kim's van with the rest of the children to pick up a gift for a birthday party the boys had been invited to. Over the din of the 5 children under 7 in the back of the van, Kim teased Steve about not having found a wife yet. Steve's response was immediate and to the point. "Where do I find someone like my sister Gwen?" Kim's response was just as quick. "You look under the rubble." His statement was immediately punctuated by the eerie cry of an ambulance siren as it sped past in the opposite direction. It was the flashing lights at the intersection ahead that captured their attention, and then Kim spotted their car.
And I run into the intersection, and my good friend who was driving the car sees me and comes running towards me saying, "Kim, please forgive me, please forgive me."
Kim learns his wife and baby daughter were already on their way to the hospital.
It's all quite slow motion and yet frozen in time.
The facts begin to unfold, telling a tragic story of miscalculation. His good friend Randy, making a challenging left turn, caused an inexperienced 17-year-old driver to freeze. At 85 kilometers an hour, she drives headlong into the passenger side of the vehicle. Gwen and baby Rebecca are violently thrown from the car. With the 5 young children in tow witnessing the events, Kim and Steve rush to the hospital. They stumble in, desperately trying to find out what happened.